Hey everyone, Kevin here. So it's official, the stimulus plan has been passed. And I Googled some stimulus calculators, I linked my favorite down below, and I found this one where I put in that I'm married, I last filed in 2018, put how much money I made, and have 2 kids, and boom, I'm going to be getting an electronic deposit of $3,400, which is kind of weird because in 2018, I made a lot less money because I had a startup that I kind of closed down. I made a whole video about what happened in 2018, okay? It was a rough year, it's right here. And yes, unfortunately, because my income is higher in 2020, I will have to repay this $3,400 back. But it got me thinking, okay, well, what can I do with an extra $3,400 for a year? And I thought, oh, well, why not try to make some money with it? I'm gonna be getting an electronic automatic deposit of $3,400 from the IRS or the Treasury Department, who cares? I'm getting $3,400. I don't really care who's giving it to me. It could be signed Donald Trump for all I care. It could be signed Nancy Pelosi. I'll still deposit it. I don't even care if you're left, right, or center. I'm gonna take my $3,400 and I'm gonna go make some money with it. But it got me thinking, okay, well, how do I wanna spend it? You know, there's a lot of conventional wisdom that says, oh, well, Kevin, the first thing you should do is you should pay off some high interest rate debt, or you know what, put it into a high yield savings account. And then I got to my thinking to myself, I don't really want conventional. I don't really want to just feel like I'm digging myself out of a hole my whole life. Because look, when I was 19 years old and I got my first real tax refund after working for Red Robin and Jamba Juice for a year, all I did was pay off some credit card balances and some bills, and then I treated myself to a beach cruiser bike. And now I look back and I'm like, oh, dude, no. Wrong mindset, wrong psychology, Kevin, old Kevin, what the heck? I should have been the nerd in my computer science class when I was 14 years old, 14 years ago, going, nah, Kevin, you keep playing World of Warcraft, I'm gonna buy Google stock. And I'm playing games, LAN partying with all the guys in my computer science class, and we're in a computer science class, and we're calling him a nerd for buying Google stock 14 years ago. Man, I wish I was the one buying the Google stock 14 years ago. But the crazy thing was, when I got my tax refund, I didn't think about investing it. I thought about staying in the hole, paying off credit card debt, or saving it, or having an emergency fund. Yet the weird thing that always happened every single time I did that is my darn credit card balances and my darn bills and my expenses would always sneak back up, and my emergency fund would always sort of dwindle down. And it's kind of like, no. How can I now try something different? What are some ways that I could take this stimulus money and actually put it to good work and make some real money? And so I came up with a few different ways to do this. Since, unfortunately, I have to pay my $3,400 back, I am only gonna have a year to work with this money. Hopefully you'll be able to keep this money as long as your income qualifies in 2020. You should be able to keep your tax credit, your stimulus check, and you can keep kind of going with making money with this money. But let's talk about those 5 ways. So kind of piggybacking off that analogy with that nerd in my computer science class, it's kind of like nerds calling nerds nerds. But anyway, going back to that, I kind of thought, if I had 0 experience today investing in stocks, I didn't even know how stocks work. I know you're supposed to look up earnings and this and that, and it's all so complicated. I'll just put it in a savings account. I get that feeling. I used to have that feeling. Well, if I had that feeling again today, I would open an account at M1 Finance. There's a link down below for it. You're welcome to use it. It is an affiliate link. You don't have to. But anyway, you go to M1 Finance, you open an account, and the cool thing you could do there is you can create these really simple to use, they call them investment pies. I'm still getting used to using M1 Finance. It's pretty simple though, kind of once you get the hang of it. And the cool thing is you can kind of pick some pies which automatically divide your money into different investments for you, and it doesn't cost anything to use M1 Finance, which is also nice. And now you can actually follow a professional's recommendation for investing. Or because I hate experts, I'm just gonna go ahead and make my own pie, and I'm gonna call it the stimulus pie. pie, because I'm literally just gonna take my stimulus money and put it into these investments, and I think it's gonna be like a fun challenge to see what happens to it. But beyond me putting my stimulus money into like a couple little Vanguard funds and maybe a little bit of Tesla or AT&T or Target or whatever, besides putting my money into some of those things, I'm going to now have this sort of experience of seeing what my money does over the next year. Which, yeah, I mean, things are pretty volatile right now, so some of us might be thinking, loser, you'll have like half your stimulus money left. I don't know, I'm not betting against the US that much, but it is gonna get me into that long run mindset of investing. And hey, if it opens me up to investing, that's like the greatest thing that could possibly happen, especially if I've never invested before. It certainly beats doing the conventional, pay off the credit card or whatever, and then just seeing the credit card balance sneak back. That's usually what happens. Like, I'd rather just invest this money, then go work a little harder, like work some overtime, pay that stupid credit card off, and now I feel like crap, I had to work a lot of OT to go pay that credit card off. I don't want to do that again. But at least I've got some money invested. That's exactly what I would do, because I'd be breaking the spend psychology of being in a hole and always trying to dig myself out with the next stimulus check or tax refund. No. Starting some kind of investment is absolutely by far the number one thing to do. And I'm gonna do that with mine. So I'll let you know and I'll keep you updated with how my stimulus pie evolves. I think it'll be cool. The second recommendation I have is spending money on ads to promote your business. So if you've got a side hustle, or you're an entrepreneur, realize that because of the panic we're in right now, every company has like pulled their ad spend, which guess what, has made ads really cheap. So if you're a lender or a loan officer, a real estate agent, you got a side hustle, you got a Shopify store, you're drop shipping, which your supply chain might be screwed up, but if you got a business, running some ads with the stimulus money and actually kind of investing in your own business, not a bad idea. I'm kind of like, this is tempting. Might want to run some ads because they keep getting cheaper by the day. Now, the third thing I would do, and this really only applies if you don't yet have one, is I would buy the cheapest but most reliable car I could find with my stimulus money. Yeah, that means you might be shopping for a clunker with like 150K miles, but if I didn't have a car, I'd take this stimulus money, go buy a car that was at least decently reliable with hopefully some kind of basic warranty, or I'd maybe spend a little bit extra and buy a warranty. And now if I didn't have a car, I'd have a car, which would enable me to start doing work for people. I could go do 3D scans for people. I could create my own business. I could drive to job interviews. Maybe I could commute a little bit to a better job and get paid more. I'm not suggesting you commute long distances, especially not with like a $1,200 to $2,400 car, okay? But if you don't have a car, oh my gosh, use this money and like invest in yourself and propel yourself, which is really the fourth thing that you could do as well. See, something crazy that happened when I was 17 years old is I realized, whoa, that's all it takes to be a professional? See, I always thought when I was in high school, I'm like, oh man, everybody's a professional. It's gonna take like 30 years to become a professional at something. I'll just start bagging groceries and working at Jamba Juice, which I did, or working at Hollister, which I did, or working at Red Robin, which I did. And I never realized how easy it was to actually get a professional license. And then I'm like, whoa, are you kidding me? I could just take a few crash courses and become a real estate agent, which I did. And now I could sell people's houses and make $10,000 commissions versus doing the dishes at Red Robin. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. Like at 18 and 19 years old, I would go for my shift at Red Robin, home at like 3 p.m., and I'd start making cold calls to find clients to sell houses. And now I'm a real estate broker. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm a real estate investor. I show you the investments and the money that I'm able to make. Oh my gosh. Just by spending a few $100s and getting a professional license, like my world has transformed. So obviously if you can invest in yourself, whether that's an online course or a program to get a license, like become a lender, or even go to a coding boot camp, I've mentioned that one a lot, be an agent, whatever. Oh my gosh, the money you can make. Do it. And then of course, the last way that I would spend my money is really using it to do whatever I could to help me buy real estate. If you're renting right now, you're renting a house or an apartment or something, try to see if you can buy something for less than what you're renting for, even if that means you have to downgrade a little bit. And sometimes you're gonna need that stimulus money to actually, yes, Now, this is kind of the opposite of what I said up front, but if you're doing it to buy a house, it's okay. Sometimes it's useful to use that money to pay off some debt. So if you could finish paying off a car or paying off some credit cards in order to qualify to buy a house, that's good. Because now you're doing both, right? You're paying off debt and you're gonna buy real estate, which is good. And the nice thing about buying below your means is you're probably gonna wanna upgrade. And then when you upgrade, just keep your first property. And now all of a sudden in like a 12-month time span, you could go from being a tenant to being a landlord and an owner of multiple properties. How crazy is that? Yeah, that's America and the things that are possible. And I mean, this is possible in Canada and Europe too, and Australia. I mean, there's some great opportunities to bank hack and go from tenant to owner to rental property landlord. So there you go. Those are my recommendations for how I would spend my stimulus money. I do have to give the $3,400 back, so don't get upset that I'm getting the $3,400, but I am going to milk that helicopter money for a year. I'll let you know how my pie grows, and I'm excited to see what happens. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.